It was just past midnight when Sarah finally settled into the worn armchair in her small city apartment. She'd spent the last 12 hours at the hospital visiting her mother, whose sudden illness had left Sarah exhausted, physically and emotionally drained. The city outside hummed with its usual nighttime rhythm, distant sirens, the occasional shout, and the unending roar of traffic. But inside, her apartment felt like a different world, heavy and silent. She tried to focus on the book in her hands, a thriller she'd meant to read weeks ago, but her eyes kept drifting toward the thin wall that separated her from the apartment next door. Ever since she'd moved in 6 months ago, she'd noticed something strange. Shadows flickering beneath the cracks of the old door. The faint sound of whispering that seemed almost too deliberate to be accidental. Tonight, however, it was different. Tonight, she could hear something scratching. Soft, persistent, like fingernails against wood. Her pulse quickened. She told herself it was the building settling, the pipes shifting, the wind outside. Rational explanations. But as the scratching continued, growing louder and more deliberate, the rationality started to crumble. Sarah rose from her chair, creeping toward the door, heart hammering in her chest. She pressed her ear to the thin wood. "Help me." The whisper was so faint she almost doubted she'd heard it. Almost. But then it came again, clearer this time. "Help me. Please." Her hand froze on the doorknob. That voice. It sounded like a child's, soft, quivering, full of terror. She told herself it must be someone's game, some prank. But deep down, she knew it wasn't. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She ignored it. Her instincts screamed at her to leave, to escape. But something, curiosity, guilt, fear, pulled her forward. Slowly, she twisted the knob and peeked into the hallway. The hallway was empty. Dim light flickered overhead, casting long, skeletal shadows along the peeling wallpaper. She stepped out, the wooden floor creaking under her weight, and approached the door next to hers. The scratching had stopped. "Hello?" she called, her voice shaking. "Is someone there?" No answer. Only silence. She pressed her ear to the door again. The faint sound of breathing. Her fingers trembled as she tried the handle. Locked. Of course it was locked. That made it even more unnerving. She noticed the faint smell of something metallic. Blood. She recoiled, stepping back, but then the whisper came again, right against her ear. "Please." She spun around. No one. Her apartment door across the hall was shut. The lights flickered. A draft of cold air brushed past her neck. Suddenly her phone buzzed again. She pulled it out, a text message from an unknown number. "You hear them too, don't you?" Her fingers froze over the screen. The number was untraceable. She didn't reply. Her logical mind screamed at her to leave, to call the police, but a primal curiosity rooted her to the spot. Then she heard it. Footsteps. Bare, deliberate steps, pacing back and forth behind the door. Slow, intentional. Her stomach twisted. Whoever or whatever was in there knew she was listening. Sarah backed toward her own apartment. Her keys trembled in her hand. She locked her door behind her, sliding the bolt with shaking hands. The scratching and whispering continued, now joined by a muffled, low sobbing, like someone had been trapped in a nightmare for hours, maybe days. Her breath came in short gasps. She wanted to leave, to run down the stairs and never look back. But another text came. "Don't leave. You'll regret it if you do." Her phone died as she looked at it, screen going black. Darkness seemed to creep into the corners of her apartment, swallowing the familiar shadows. The whispering became louder, echoing inside her own walls now. "Help me." She tried to rationalize. Maybe someone had fallen into the apartment next door. Maybe it was an old building, a trap door, a hidden room. But deep down she knew the truth. The building had a secret, and she'd stumbled into it. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time blurred. Every sound made her jump. The creak of the radiator, a pipe groaning, the city outside roaring. Then she heard it, her own name, whispered, distorted, coming from the hallway outside her door. "Sarah." Panic surged. She grabbed a flashlight, edging toward the door. The whispering stopped. Silence, heavy and absolute. She swung the door open. Empty hallway. But at the end of it, a shadow shifted. A figure, tall, faceless, standing in the corner where the emergency exit door was supposed to be. She froze. The figure didn't move toward her. It just stood there, impossible and wrong, limbs too long, head tilted at an unnatural angle. She backed up, tripping over her own feet, flashlight rolling across the floor. The beam caught the figure's face for a split second. A mask of pure despair, hollow eyes, mouth stretched unnaturally wide, whispering words she couldn't understand. Then it vanished. Her heart thundered. She knew she needed to call someone, the police, anyone. But when she picked up the phone, the dial tone was gone, only static. And in the static, she heard it again, clearer this time. "Come with me." She ran. Down the hallway, out the stairs, into the night. The city was alive, oblivious. Streetlights flickered as if acknowledging her terror, but no one noticed her flight. She ran until her legs burned, until the cold night air felt like fire in her lungs. Finally, she stopped in front of a 24-hour convenience store, panting, shaking. She looked back at the building. Nothing. Silent. Ordinary. Standing as it always had. The shadows under the windows were normal. The door next door was just a door. She tried to explain it to the cashier, tried to tell someone, anyone, but no words made sense. The fear, the whispering, the faceless figure, it was as if it had never existed except in her memory, echoing in her mind. Weeks later, Sarah moved out. She never looked back, never spoke of the events in that apartment. But sometimes, late at night, when she's alone in a new, brighter apartment across the city, she hears the whispering again, soft, deliberate, coming from the walls. "Help me." And she knows, deep down, that some doors once opened, never truly close. The city continues to hum, oblivious, but she never forgets the apartment next door.